Hello and welcome to a World of Tanks replay sent in by A20 Alpha. He's got a pretty good game here of an A20 tier 4 light tank. First things first though, I will point out that I've got a bit of a problem with my throat. It always seems to come back in the evenings, which is pretty annoying. It's just basically, yeah, it just makes it harder to speak and I probably sound a bit, yeah, just a bit odd. But anyway, we've got an A20 here and this is, as I said, a tier 4 Soviet light tank, and it's pretty good. I'm going to go through the stats here. It's effectively 480 horsepower, which is very good for a tier 4 light, and a top speed of 72 kilometers an hour, so effectively it's just as fast as a T50, although I think there must be other factors involved, such as acceleration in that sense. Okay, the gun selection isn't great, as you can see here, because this gun looks pretty small. I'm not sure what this is. This is probably going to be the 37mm tier 5 gun. So I mean, I do say that, but tier 5 gun's pretty nice. And as you can see, it's gone straight in here to flank the enemy. So that looks like a Matilda over there, and you've got all these mediums here trying to shoot him, and well, yeah, basically missing from the looks of it. He's just gone straight in here. I'm not sure if those guys are AFK, but they're just not responding whatsoever. And he's taking a bit of a risk, because I'm assuming these guys are AFK, which kind of makes it quite funny to watch. And he's just slowly shooting away at this grill here, and the 37mm obviously doesn't do that much damage. It's about 40 damage each shot. You get quite a nice selection of ammo. The penetration's okay for its tier, I suppose, but the advantage is mainly it's okay possibly in accuracy, but I mean, actually, is like pretty much the accuracy is not that great. I mean, the guns you start with are more accurate, but it's the rate of fire which effectively makes it as good as it is. But I'm kind of assuming, because that one's automatic, it may not be that one. Again, I'm not sure what gun this is, but I'm sure he probably told me in the email, but I didn't see. But you can see we've already got 2 kills, we've taken a couple of hits, and we're still pretty much in good health, even getting a couple of bounces, and considering this thing's only got about 20mm of armour around its hull, that's pretty impressive. So you can see we've got 2 artillery kills, got pretty much next to full health, and he's going around. I mean, in fact, in this game, he is probably the guy who's making his team win, because he's taken out their artillery. Okay, they may have been AFK, I'm not sure what was going on there, but obviously that's their fault really if they're AFK. Well, that's quite a nice shot there, though that could have been multiple damage, because when you shoot them at the time of someone else's, it usually bounces up. So that's an ELC AMX. We're getting a couple of bounces with this gun, but that's probably suspected, because I think this must be the 37 or 45mm, I'm not quite sure. And you can see that's another 2 kills, and you can see there's been a comment down there, A20, amazing game. So that was from the MX-40. You can see he's taking quite a bit of damage here. Tracks are down, turrets now damaged. Didn't quite get them on the Stug, took that away from him. But 4 kills is very good, especially in a light tank. As you think about some of the light tanks, armor values and firepower, 4 kills is pretty damn good really. Although I can probably say from my Leopard, I've got a couple of games where I've done extremely well, and I think you just have to get in the right match to kind of get to this kind of level of gameplay, because occasionally you can go into some games where you have, I mean, effectively he could go up to a tier 8, Alpha could effectively go into a tier 8 and pretty much could only take out his role as being a scout, probably wouldn't get many kills unless he went after the artillery. But it's quite good because they have slightly fixed the matchmaking, which I think is quite impressive. Because what they've done now is that, or some games like this, tier 5 you kind of expect KV1s and stuff, but they've kind of made it, balanced it out a bit more between what tanks there are. So if you're a light tank and you get into a game such as this, I'm not saying it doesn't require skill or anything, because this was a very, very good game, as you can see. 4 kills in a light tank is extremely good no matter what game you're playing. And I mean, although some people may not agree, but with that gun as well, I think that's very impressive, because considering how many times you would have to shoot someone to actually do that, and that looks like an AMX-40, so I can probably imagine he's going to struggle to penetrate that from that range. Although it's probably should only take about 1 shot and it's shooting at him, and unfortunately someone took that kill. But You can see it's pretty good, and that's a Matilda down there, and that's going to be tricky to kill. Well, I think it's a Matilda. May not be, and in fact it looks like a variant, or possibly is the Matilda. I don't really recognise tanks such as this in this way. But you can see we're about to capture the base. Artillery's onto this guy down here, and effectively he's in an awkward situation. He's got very little health. It will probably take 1 or 2 shots. He's going to find it hard to penetrate that, because that thing is just a steel wall effectively. I mean, its gun isn't great, but again it penetrates, it does its damage on that Matilda that he's aiming at. So I'm hoping, well, I think he probably should have got that effectively from the way he played. But anyway, that's just a replay I wanted to show you today, guys. I'll say thank you to AT Alpha for letting me use this replay, because it was a very good one. It makes for some good commentary and some good gameplay for me to comment on. And from this, I can probably say to you guys, if you want me to, or even if you just want to send in some of your replays, please do. BubbaFoxGaming@gmail.com. Simply go to your replays folder, ensure that replays have been turned on, and just take that file. It may look a bit small, but it's all stored within World of Tanks servers. It just gets downloaded onto my computer when I watch it. So it may look small, but just attach that, it should work, and I may or may not do commentary on it. But yes, thank you to AT Alpha for sending this in, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe. See you next time, guys.